what we're getting on with now is where the fuse box passes through. Now, this is normally the fuse box will sit here, so you don't see this, and the wiring loom passes through. So what we are looking at doing today is cutting out as much of this as possible, making the lip good. But as you can see, this is a wiring grommet holder, and it's toast. So we're probably going to be chopping this back as far as necessary, cleaning up this. I may have to drill the spot welds out on this and remove it, just so I can get to some good metal, because this, I'm probably going to end up chasing this right back underneath. But yeah, this is the plan of action for today. We're starting on this. As you can already, as you know already, the battery tray is done and finished. So that's the first part of the bulkhead on that side done. We're now concentrating on this side. Once we've done this, we'll be then moving on to a little repair on the wiper scuttle, and then we'll be moving on to doing the repairs on the lip for the windscreen. And then after that, it will be moving on to floor pans. But this set of little videos is going to be just repairing that area down there. Okay, right, so what I've actually done so far, you can say, starting to clean up areas. I've drilled the spot welds out for this so I can actually remove it. As you can see, there's a bit of the old metal cancer underneath there. The yellow paint pen marks you can see is technically how much of the void I'm going to have to replace, because all this around here is good solid metal. So we've got what I've done is I've chopped down the new panel. So I'm going to put it there. It is. So we can drop that in, and as you can see straight away, it just shows how much I haven't got to chop out. I mean, the battery tray on the other side was pretty much a massive opening once I'd got all the bad metal out, but this one is far better, other than that bit there that I'm going to have to replace. We've even got, I don't know how good it's going to be once I clean it up, but we've even got a lip, which we didn't have on the other side. It's got a bit of metal fatigue there, so I'm anticipating I may have to replace some of this. I'll cut some of this out, and hopefully it will all tie in nicely, and this piece here will repair the corrosion there. Right, getting a bit cold now. So we've had a good, this is a weekend, so it's a Saturday, Sunday. Both me and Mildred are not at work, so that's why we're cracking on with this. We've had a really, really good progressive weekend. We've managed to get a lot achieved. We've pretty much done the engine bay now. There are a few little tidying up bits we need to do, but pretty much it's there. So let me just give you a quick look at where the fuse box wiring loom would pass through, what we've achieved today. Right, as you can see, that's all new metal let in. There are a few dents, but what sits here is we have got, as you can see, I've managed to drill through a couple of spot welds there, which is never a good thing to do, but that will sit there, and I believe this holds the wiper motor. So yeah, that will fit in there. So really, I think that's where that used to sit. It's why we've got those indentations in the bulkhead itself. But yeah, all I've got to do is put that back in. But it's all back together. It's nice and solid. I'm happy with that. It's going to want minimal cleaning up, and then we can whack some seam sealer back round it like it was from factory. Tidy up a few more welds. There's a couple of spot welds that still need a bit of tidying. but other than that, we're good, happy to go. So what we're going to start moving on to now is, now the engine bay is done, we're going to get all of this area where the heater box, wiper motor, fuse box, battery tray and everything, we're going to get all this cleaned up and painted back in gloss black. So basically, once we cleaned up the engine bay, wiring, the engine can go back in. And what I'm now going to start concentrating on is things like small repairs on the scuttle. We're looking at repairing windscreen, aperture lip and stuff like that. So we're actually now starting to progress further into the car. So yeah, losing my voice again. Join me again. Probably be a progression from this one. This will be in one video. And then we'll be moving on to things sort of bulkhead area. So we're done with the battery tray. That will be in the last video. So now we're starting to move into the car. So we'll be looking at floor pans soon. So yeah, thank you for watching this bit. Right, that's battery tray in. Little lip repair just here. That's all done. Fuse box, wiring loom, pass through, that's all done. Wiper brackets back in. We're going to start doing a bit of filling now just to tidy up these bit of welds. And now I've moved on to cutting out little sections on the scuttle. And as you can see, I'm starting to paint mark areas that I'm going to be doing next. Right, so there you go. That is the end result of that little panel I put in. Needs a bit more cleaning up. You can just see remnants of a few welds there and a couple there, but I've managed to lose the rest quite nicely. So it'll just want a little skimmer filler, and then hopefully that'll be good to go for another few years. Just got this one to do up here now, and then we've got one to do there, and then we've got to try and repair this lip along here. Just a little jumped ahead slightly, did a little bit of work off camera, but I just thought I'd show you the result of it. Just fired the bulkhead area with some gloss black. The engine bay is black anyway, so we'll be cleaning that up, but I thought I'd just treat that area to a bit of a repair, well, a bit of paint after the repair. So there you go, that's the battery tray in, the lip that I repaired, and the wiring loom pass through. Now it's time to get on with the windscreen aperture. Now the problem I've got here is we've got two different bends. You've got the curve of the screen against the bulkhead, and then it also dips inwards as well. So what I've actually started doing is chopping out the bad metal to try and see what I've got to work with. And at the moment, as you can see, I've made yet another great hole. Looking at the rest of the windscreen aperture, I think it's all going to go that way, which is a bit frustrating. I could really be sort of a bit bodgy here. Windscreen goes in, you never really see it, but I can't really leave it like that. Especially now we're sort of starting to really make gains with the car. It would be a shame just to start cutting corners, so that's not something I want to do. So this is just going to be an absolute nightmare to do. I did have a go at trying to make a strip that would fit in there, but as you can see, it turned out like an absolute mess. I'm not going to do something like that. It's going to have no strength in it at all. By the time I've welded it together, it will pretty much be all weld, so that's not something I want to do. So I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try and make it up of sections. I know it would have originally been one panel, the scuttle, then it would have met the bulkhead, but I'm going to try and do repairs. So my first step is replacing this strip along here so I can get this contour. Then I might then go down from here to this strip, and then come up from the bulkhead. That is one plan I've got. But yeah, I can't wait to get into
the floor pans and start cracking away at them, because it would be nice just to weld big panels in. You really see progress, it's not fiddly. So yeah, stick around, I'll grab you back soon. So what I've done, excuse the box, a little bit of get out the light, a little bit of CAD, cardboard aided design. What I've done is I've trimmed out a little bit of sort of lip that, as you can see, follows the contour of the screen, and then I copied that over onto a metal, just enough for that, and now I've got that little strip there, which is the lip for the windscreen, and as you can see, it's not sitting too bad. So if I get that in place, I've got stuff to work off. Even if what I have to do is just tack this bit in, and then I can build everything around it, take it out, sort of engineer it a bit better off the car, and then put it back onto the car as a unit. That might be an idea. But yeah, I can see things are starting to happen, which is good. Quicker I can get this done, like I say, quicker I'll get into the floors. The engine is built now. New gaskets, clutch and everything. There's a video in the pipeline of us doing that, but we ended up arguing most of the time. So yeah, I don't know how much of that's going to get edited and put out. But that's ready to go in. So potentially engine bay's done now, so that can go in. So that will be a really good sort of morale booster, because, you know, engine running. It's got no exhaust, so it's going to be as noisy as hell, but engine will be in. So I'm going to keep cracking on with this, and I'll drag you back in a bit. Thank you. Hi, welcome back to Winging It Garage. Let's just get this thing focused. As you can see, what I've done now is we've got the return lip. So there's the lip that the windscreen would lip over, and this is the return lip that leads up to the scuttle. So at the moment I've just added it in. I've put a couple of tack welds, and then I've mainly started spotting it from the back. So I'll take this panel off now and I'll remake it, and my aim is then I'll stitch it to this front edge and I can clean it up, and then that'll be that bit done. I'll just have to move to the inside. I didn't think I'd be able to do that. I must admit, I'm quite impressed. Okay, so what we've got now is a little tiny strip, excuse my welding, that goes nicely in there, fills all the holes. My plan is I'm going to try and butt weld up against that. I've left a bit of overhang so I can clean up that area, and then that will be that bit of the lip done. I can then move into the inside and start building into there. Right, so I've had some really good progress. Quite impressed with what I've done. Let me show you. What I've actually managed to do is rebuild it. It's there, it's solid, it's all welded in. I'm just about to lose a light, so sorry about that. But yeah, I'm more than happy with that. If I can replicate that all the way along now, I can't see why this car will outlive me. Well, it'll outlive me anyway, being in the garage, but there you go. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I mean, I've filled a little hole there, so you'll want a very small skim of filler. But yeah, I'm chuffed. I've managed to reattach it using the original bit of screen there. What I'm probably going to do is double it up along here, so it's like double thickness again. So I'll bring the bulkhead up and attach it to that. But yeah, no, I'm good. Just got to keep moving along now. That side's finished, so I thought I'd pop over here just to repair the small holes. And as usual, the small holes suddenly become... So potentially all that's going to be left of the original windscreen lip is about 12 inches. So I really should have probably just put a new windscreen scuttle on it, but hey, I'm invested now, so in it for the long haul. Okay, so a bit of time's passed, but as you can see, I've repaired this little lip here, just adding a small bit of steel in, and I've actually replaced now all of the bad metal all the way along. So now the entire lower edge of the windscreen scuttle has been replaced. These spot welds inside I'm going to clean up a bit more, but they are quite smooth. It's just a case of making them look a bit tidier. I'll probably get in there with a little die grinder and just clean them up a little bit, but I've had to replace all of this top lip here, so that's all done. So we've got the repair done there, that little bit done, all of that area done, and we've got all this lip done now. So technically that's all the windscreen surround done. So yeah, it just all needs a good clean back. That looks bad, but it isn't actually rotten. It's just, that'll probably just get treated with some Q rust or something. So now it's going to be a case of having a little clean up inside and tearing that floor pan out. So that will be the next set of videos, will be the floor pan and bulkhead repairs. So that's that video done on the all the repairs, bulkhead, everything else. Thanks for watching. Like I say, the next set now will be doing the floor pans and everything else. We are sort of cracking on with the mechanical stuff, so there'll probably be another little engine update soon. We're doing the some of the suspension components, getting them all painted and prettified up. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you can, please like, subscribe and share. Like I say, I'm building a bit of a following now, which is quite nice. Some of your questions are nice as well. Just keep them coming. Thank you. Bye now.